Gus sliced against the fishing boat as Marcello and Antonio heaved together, preparing to cast their fishing net overboard. The future, Antonio teases. What are you worrying so much for? He easily ties his part of the line, ensuring a connection between the ship and netting. I don't know, Tony. I just get thinking. Marcello finishes tying his knot slower, then slumps against the side railing. He let his gloved hand run along the sea-rusted metal. You sure this thing's safe in water like this?
See, there's your problem. The thinking. You're thinking far too much, my friend.
Tony stood his ground just fine as the ship rocked uncomfortably, then took hold of the railing on the opposite side of Marcello.
You're good to her, aren't you? Just propose. Get it over with, man.
Maybe you're right. Marcello yells back over the roaring wind. In the distance, lightning streaks stab across storming skies. The sight sends chills up his arm.
I know I'm right. Look at me, Mark. I'm just living the life.
His smile was infallible against the weather. Marcello had no idea how Antonio kept so cheery in the conditions they were sailing.
6 years married and 2 little scamps running around the house. I couldn't be happier,
finished Antonio. Not happy enough to say no to shrimping, though, right?
Ah!
Antonio let out his deepest sailor's laugh.
Man's gotta bring money in somehow. These shrimp sell pretty at the market.
A crashing wave came against the vessel, and both men slipped from their feet onto the deck floor. Marcello especially found himself gripped tightly to the safety line. Antonio laughed again, this time half-pumped on adrenaline.
What's wrong? Seasick already, man? You kept on land too long.
Shut up. Marcello pulled on his hood, but there was no escaping the sea spray and rain. Antonio didn't bother standing back up, and both men braced against the sides.
So why'd you insist on helping me out this trip anyway? Needed a quick buck?
Maybe. Antonio waited for a further explanation from Marcello for a while, but unlike the ceaseless waves, one never came.
Come on, Mark. You sure you didn't come to your big old Tony for his sage-like love advice?
Give me a break, man. Antonio scratched at his dark beard.
Really, what's the side hustle for if you didn't come for the thrills? I know you aren't just here for me.
Marcello sulked a moment and then gave in. The ring.
Ah, I knew it,
Antonio gloated.
What's all that gloom and uncertainty for, then? You came out here in this crap to make money for the ring and you still aren't sure?
Another powerful wave washed underway and shook the men up and down. The heaving and hoeing of the movement made Marcello sick. Don't you ever get worried this far out from land? Why the hell are we out here in the storm anyway?
You're just changing the subject.
I mean it, man. These waves are serious.
I told you not to be scared of a few waves if you were gonna come. Besides, the competition's light out on these waters.
Because no one's stupid enough to come out in a storm like this.
I do it all the time, Mark. Stop whining.
Marcello looked around, and there wasn't an inch of land on the horizon, only pure, dark sea.
Come on, Mark. Help me pull the line.
They each labored against their respective lines, pulling the netting in sync. Before long, it emerged from the darkness, carrying a bountiful haul of shrimp.
I told you, look at that,
celebrated Antonio. Marcello can't help but catch some of his friend's cheer and smiles. A moment later, he spots a crab struggling in the netting. He picks the feisty guy up, and it waves its claws around in defiance. Back home with you, Marcello mumbles and tosses it overboard. Guess you weren't kidding about the location, Tony. Not a bad first haul. The men both worked to dump the contents of the netting into large containers with water which keep the shrimp fresh. Together, they then prepare the net for another throw. It didn't take long into their labor for Antonio to pry at his friend again.
How long you two been together, anyway?
Just past 2 years now, Marcello sighed. Antonio adopted an uncharacteristic tone.
You can't be playing around so late in the game, Mark. If you don't want to be with her...
I do, Mark yelled, mostly due to the picking up wind. I do. It's not that, really. Ugh. Fine, Tony, you win. I just wonder if I'm gonna be enough, alright? I mean, look at me, man. I'm out here throwing nets for side change. I want to give her the best life I can, and we don't even have a place yet. I worry if I can even be there for her. Antonio waves his hand in a calming motion.
Mark, you've got to relax. Seriously, you'll scare the shrimp off.
Marcello took a long breath. The rain began to hit so hard that it seemed to be carving against their jackets at this point. Antonio picked the conversation back up with a smile once more.
If all that mattered, she wouldn't be waiting for you, Mark. You love her, clearly, so take the plunge.
Don't say plunge,
Ha!
chuckled Antonio again.
Well, I mean it. She's been around putting up with your sorry sack for a few years. I don't think she'll wait forever.
Antonio gave Marcello a soft punch to the shoulder.
Mi amore wasn't gonna sit around for me all day, let me tell ya. Miss a catch today, it's someone else's tomorrow.
Marcello was in a fluster. What if she says no?
Really? Look at you out here busting it in this storm. You think she'd deny the hardest working man alive? Probably second most handsome, too.
Marcello gave a genuine laugh that stood its own against the weather. Shut up, man. They each grinned. Hey, Tony, thanks. I mean it.
Of course, brother. Anytime.
He trailed off. Antonio was staring out over the side of the ship. His mustache dropped with his slack jaw, and his smile washed away. Marcello felt his stomach sinking. Wide-eyed, a colossal rogue wave began to swallow the sky above them. The water towered many times higher than the ship, which seemed now no more than a toy. The men both braced for the inevitable.